Hi, I'm Jamie Wright, middle school librarian, and I'm here to help you find your next great book. Today's episode of Middle School Book Talks is a special edition with read alike books. So if you know and like one of the books, maybe you'll like the other one as well. Let's get started. First up is Ella Enchanted by Gail Carson Levine and How to Ditch Your Fairy by Justine Larbalestier. First of all, if you have only ever seen the movie version of Ella Enchanted, please read the book and understand it is a much more nuanced and clever and admirable and a lot less goofy and all over the place kind of situation. The premise is that a fairy has given Ella a so called gift of obedience. Practically speaking, it means Ella is forced to obey any command she's given. If the cook happens to mention she should eat some cake, Ella cannot stop eating it, even if she doesn't want any. Obviously, if a pair of evil stepsisters happen to show up, they will take full advantage of this curse. And Ella can't, in good conscience, even think about marrying a handsome prince, knowing that anyone could get to her and somehow harm the kingdom. In How to Ditch Your Fairy, the story explores a similar concept about being careful about the magical powers you wish for. In this futuristic environment, Charlie attends a school for gifted athletes. And while some of her friends enjoy these great fairies, like a shopping fairy who helps locate the perfect outfit at a great price, or a popularity fairy, Charlie's fairy helps her find good parking spots. Everyone is always insisting she go on errands with them, and a guy in her class goes so far as to kidnap her for his parking convenience. Charlie would give anything to have a good fairy, but it might be that every superpower has a downside. The next pair of read-alikes is Shinji Takahashi and the Mark of the Coatl by Julie Kagawa, and Onyeka and the Academy of the Sun by Tola Okugwu. Shinji is just a homeschooled kid being raised by his travel-loving aunt until an encounter with a magical object sends him into a fast-paced mystery thriller full of tech gadgets, action, and questions about the loyalty of his newfound secret team, the Society of Explorers and Adventurers. Onyeka is an American hanging out with her best friend until she discovers a superpower. It's her amazing curly hair that has a life-saving mind of its own, and her mother tells her she is part of a secret group called the Solari. They travel to Nigeria so Onyeka can train at the Academy of the Sun and become part of a team, and like Shinji, they are on the run from bad guys and hoping to be prepared enough when they finally come face to face. The next pair of read-alikes is The City of Ember by Jean Dupro and A Wish in the Dark by Christina Soontornvat. Lena and Dune live in the city of Ember, which was created by builders hundreds of years ago to contain everything humans need for survival. Except that now stores of food are running low, corruption is rampant, and the lights are failing. No one ever leaves the boundary of the city, so their survival is at stake. When Lena and Dune discover part of an old parchment, they suspect if they can decipher what it says, it might hold the key to saving the people of Ember. A Wish in the Dark has a similar feel, although the Thai-inspired fictional city is not enclosed. One man called the governor created all the lights and brought peace to the city of Chitana. A person's wealth is indicated by the strength and color of the lights they have, while the poorest live in the dark. Pong was born in the prison and marked with a tattoo, so even when he escapes, he's always hiding from the light. Nok is the prison warden's daughter, and she's determined to catch him and restore her family name. But there is corruption in Chitana too, and what she discovers changes everything she's been taught. Although this story is loosely inspired by Hugo's Les Miserables, you can see how The City of Ember and A Wish in the Dark are both fantasy mysteries that explore corruption, trust, and exploitation of resources in communities. The Selection by Kiera Cass and Princess Academy by Shannon Hale are both about a group of girls training in order to become chosen as a prince's bride. The Selection is much more about the romance. The main character, America, is already attached to someone else, but he belongs to a lower class, making it difficult for them to be together. The luxury of the clothes and the jewels is exciting, and America becomes interested in the prince in spite of herself. Will he choose her? Will she choose him? The premise of Princess Academy is similar, yet the book has a completely different feel. It's much more about the relationship between the girls and the main character finding her own self-confidence. Miri, like most of the other girls brought together, comes from a remote mountain village. She doesn't want to leave home and her family to be trained in table manners by a stern instructor. She can't imagine living in a palace, and she isn't looking for love with a prince whom she's never seen or met. Her training is in direct conflict with the values she's been raised with. Hard work is more important than sitting quietly so you don't harm your clothes. There is a unique fantasy element to this story related to the environment as well. Miri is younger and smaller than most of the other girls, but when a crisis occurs, she might be the only one who can bring them all together. The last pair of read likes today is Mark of the Thief by Jennifer Nielsen and The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner. In Mark of the Thief, Nick is enslaved, working in the mines outside of Rome where he discovers gold and gems, but also a one of a kind amulet containing incalculable magic. He wants to use the new power that comes through the amulet to gain his freedom and find his family. But there is a conspiracy to overthrow the emperor, and corrupt leaders think Nick will be the key to their victory. There's a lot of action and a bit of romance, sort of Annabeth and Percy vibe, along with the mystery and fantasy elements. The Thief by Megan Whalen Turner opens with the king's scholar selecting a thief, Jen, from the palace prison to help him collect a secret treasure. On the dangerous journey to the treasure's location, they trade stories and legends, and it's clear that the king's scholar is greedy, smart, and determined. Jen's motives are not as clear. Full of twists and adventure blended with fantasy and mystery, this is the first book in the Queen's Thief series. That's it for this special edition episode of Book Talks Read-Alikes. If you're looking for more great books to read, please reach out to your librarian. And remember, a book is always a good idea.